Alright, how's everybody doing? I am here real quick to test out my oil rig setup. I believe I might have went a little overboard with it, and I want to see just how much energy and stuff it does actually take to run this. So, I want to see if I went way overboard or what, so I'm just going to kick it on and I'm going to get some I'll give you a quick review of my setup here. These are my oil tanks. I got 7 of them here. And then over here, I have got 10 diesel tanks, 3 petrol tanks right here, and then I also have five more diesel tanks right down here. So in total, I have 15 diesel tanks. So, and then upstairs, over here, I do believe. Gotta go up so I can go up top here. Then I got, let's see, what do I have? I got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I got 10 LumiMax solar panels over here. And I got them running right across here. And I also have, let's see, I got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I believe I have 12 of them over here. And they're all running into this right here. So going right down into my batteries down below. And I'll give you a quick preview of that. Just so we know what we're dealing with here. Comes in right here. And these are my batteries set up. 8 batteries here, 8 batteries here, and 10 batteries here. So altogether I got 26 batteries. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go through and I'm going to unhook these little by little. I'm going to unhook like this row, and then I'm going to run it and see how quick it runs these, see if it runs these batteries dead fast, or some of them, because they should be fully charged right now. Yep, 6 kilowatts out of 6 kilowatts, so all of them are fully charged right now. And I just want to see how fast they'll go dead, and then start unhooking them as I go, and see if I only could have got away with like them 10 or something batteries, which I probably could have, but see, the thing about it is I got solar panels and those don't work at night. So if I decide to run this all at night, then I'm running strictly on batteries. So was my reasoning for doing it anyways, for making so many batteries. So I just want to see, I'm giving it a test. I want to see what go over here and kick it on. And I'm going to go through and see how many kilowatts it's taking for each thing. So, oops. Alright. That might be still full. I don't know. Nope. Alright. There's my whole outfit running here. This is what it looks like when it's running. I got my petrol right here. My diesel's coming from there over to here. Going right down here. And right here. And it tees. So going to here. And then my petrol comes right here. Over to this. These are all outlines. These are going to my boat. is where they're going. So I just wanted to see real quick. We look at it. Okay, this is taking 60 watts. So 60 kilowatts. That's taking 60 kilowatts as well. So it's 120 kilowatts per hour. So I just want to go and see what it's taking out of my batteries. Because right now I don't have anything going into them. So we'll see what's exiting out of them is 120. So how far have they went down since I started? 0.1. But see, my big thing is I unhooked these two right here, these two banks of batteries, and ran on them. Even if those ran all night, I am not sure that it would be able to recover once it did get daylight in the morning. So that's my one thing that I'm wondering about, is if these 10 batteries would be able to charge up as this is running once it turns daylight. That's my big thing. So I kinda just want to see through this night right here how much this takes out of all the batteries is what I want to see. Because if it takes a bunch, just them 10. So I got to figure that out. Because I have this tendency to overpower stuff. So I'm one of those that like to be safe, rather be safe than sorry, you know. And I just want to see if I could have got away with, you know, doing less, because like the batteries, they take quite a bit to make. I'll go into my skills just to see what they take to make, but you can see it takes 2 battery cells, 3 connector ports, 2 alloy frames, and 1 logic chip. And if I'm not mistaken, I can run over here real quick. Oops, right here. And just look in here, but I think the logic chips, if I'm not mistaken, they take a pretty good chunk of stuff. And it's some of the higher quality stuff as well. So, if I can even find them. Right there. So if I click on it, so let's see, it takes silicone, aluminum, glass, and iron. So yeah, it does kind of take some silicone. And then these take iron and plastic. The alloy frames do. Let's see. Let me just... Okay, it takes a battery cell, connector ports, alloy frames. Okay. So battery cells, what do them take? I think that's right here. Yep. Takes rubber, fabric, and copper. Alloy frames and... What was the other thing? I don't even remember now. Connector ports. Which those are right down here. Connector ports, copper, plastic, and fabric. Not too bad then. Out of everything, it just, the high quality stuff is just silicone. So, silicone and aluminum. Aluminum's kind of hard to come by as well. So. But yeah, it's running at a pretty good rate here, and by the looks of the moon, it's not going to be very much longer. It'll be daylight. So I'm just going to run and look and see what these are at the end of it. It doesn't look like it's going to take a bunch out of all these batteries. Because right now it's only 5.6 out of 6, so yeah, I could probably, but what I'm going to do is, I would like to run down and hook up my boat, fill it up with fuel and all that kind of stuff once it gets daylight, and do all that kind of stuff. And then once it comes dark again, I'm going to unhook 2 banks of those batteries, so, and see what happens. For now, I am going to leave all the solar panels plugged in, but I want to actually check those as well. Because if I run up here, if I unhook 2 banks of these, that means them are going to charge these a lot quicker. So, man, I wish I could like fast forward time or something, because I would like to just unhook them and then see what happens, and then come back and see how quick they went back up with all them solar panels, and then unhook like one whole side is what I'd like to do, and just do the one side of them, you know. So say I would unhook all of them on that roof, just unhook it right there at the end of that, and it would be just these on this roof, and that's it. And maybe I'll do that when I unhook the batteries, actually. So maybe I can do them both at the same time. Because I already know that they're going to charge up fast when I... Alright, I'm going to hit this off real quick. Okay, it's daylight now, so I'm going to go look, just to give you a reference. 5.5. So it took 0.5 to take down these batteries here. That's how much came out of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unhook that right there. There, these batteries are standing alone now. They're no longer hooked to these ones. So they'll keep charging. They're just charging these batteries. But there is no batteries hooked to these 10 now. Now I'm just going to run over. The only reason I'm doing this right now is because I'll forget when it comes daylight. So, or dark, I mean. So I'm going to do it right now while I'm thinking about it. Okay, I'm just going to drop that. So now I'm just running off on them 10 batteries. And then these solar panels, that's it. Oh. Ah, that was a big mistake though, probably. Let me... Oh no, come on. How does it not all of a sudden reach? I'm gonna actually run down and I gotta charge those batteries back up before I start this. So I'm gonna hook those batteries back up just until they get charged. That shouldn't take too awful long to do that, so pick up this plastic quick, I guess. Okay, now that it's daylight, I'm gonna go and grab the elevator and run down and hook this stuff to my boat so it's set to go when I do that, whenever I get ready to leave here. Okay, so I'm gonna hook this, I think, anyways. Oh, I don't have any. Gotta go and get some hose here. I don't have any. Let me see. I'm gonna hook up my diesel and all that and fill myself up. While I'm messing around with this and running the diesel all the time, I might as well get myself set up here. That must not be that. That must be diesel. Let's see. Nope. Oh, I think this is actually this. Petrol. And that's full, so. Alright, there's the diesel. I think this one here is oil. Yep, there we go. Might as well fill my tanks up while I'm right here as well, because I just emptied them. So we'll see what happens when I do the shut everything off, which I'll run back up real quick, see if those are emptied out or not. Run up here real quick and see if my batteries are back full again. Nope, close though. Won't be much longer. Yeah, because I think if I unhook all these batteries and I unhook 1/2 of these over there, and if I run it through the night, it's going to take it down a lot. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. So, and then maybe what I'll do, if I do that and it runs them down a bunch, maybe I'll just hook this row back up without this row and then see what happens there. Because if I did go overboard, I want to see how much I went overboard. So that's what I'd like to know. Which I'm fairly certain I did, but my motto was always, I'd rather have too much than not enough. So I used to pretty much overbuild everything, is what I used to do. So we'll see if I did this or not. And also with my tanks, because I have 10 of them on the boat, which I have 10 of them right here as well. And then I got 5 down there behind these over here. Right down here, I got 5 of them as well. My thoughts was there is I'd use them 10 up to fill it, but it would give me a bit extra for having these 5 down here versus being completely empty. So I didn't want to suck these completely dry if I happen to be completely empty, because if my boat's a little bit empty, I wouldn't have enough to fill my boat and my tanks as well. So, and these I really don't worry that much about. because as of right now, petrol isn't really much of anything. So I don't use it for much of anything at all. Maybe any update, like if we get that wave runner we're supposed to get and stuff, I'm sure that'll be petrol. So, and then later on when we get the helicopter, so that could possibly be petrol as well. So maybe it'll give us a reason to start doing more petrol stuff. Because like as of right now, I only got 2 petrol tanks on my boat. Because of the fact I don't use it for hardly anything. So I don't see any sense in carrying a bunch of it around if I'm not going to do anything with it. But if we do that, you start getting stuff that uses quite a bit of petrol, then I might have to do a little rearranging on my boat. Start throwing some more petrol tanks on and do some more oil tanks. But these should be filled back up now, I would think. I know. Yep, they're full. Alright, now I can go unhook this. Okay, so that's completely unhooked. So these are the only ones that are in here. Just these 10 right here, that's it. None of my other batteries are hooked to it. I'll come down here just to prove it. This is just going into there and then going up into here. So that was the only thing that was holding it or hooking it right there. Solar panels. So I'm going to run over to the other side. I'm going to shut them or unhook them other solar panels. So it looks like it's just about to get dark, or it's just because it's raining, one of the two. Alright, unhook this whole bank of solar panels here. So that's all them solar panels off it now. These are the only ones that are going to be working. And this is the same time frame. I done the first test. Let me come down here real quick where the batteries are. I done the first test with all the batteries, with all the solar panels. Ran this all night long to see how far that went down with no solar power going to it. It went down to 5.5 is what it went down to. And now I want to see what it goes down to with just those 10 batteries without any of them solar panels over there to help. It won't help charge it, but it'll help charge it the next day. Because this day is... Where's the sun? It's got to be getting close to being over. Whoops. Yeah, a little ways. So it's probably 3/4 of a day. Well, it was less than that. Probably a half. Half a day, and it filled all them back up. The solar panels did. Filled all my batteries back up to full again. I just want to see how it does it this time. We'll see how it does versus the first test, which I obviously know that it's going to run them down a lot quicker. It's going to take longer to charge them because I got half the solar panels. But I just want to see if it would work. Because I don't know if these solar panels, depending on how much it takes out of these batteries to run that all night long, I don't know if this will be enough solar panels to recharge those batteries during the day, especially if I keep it going during the day. Welcome, viewers, because I think it's going to take these as well. Say I just emptied out all the tanks, put them in my boat. You know, I'm going to have to run it probably all day and all night because this stuff isn't super duper fast. And if I have to do that, I don't know if it'll keep up. So we'll see if I'm right or not here. But it'll be dark here in just a minute. I think I'm going to go down real quick and unhook my boat. I gotta let that oil fill back up again. Otherwise, I ain't even be able to run all night because I ain't gonna have no oil. Why did that quit running? Must be something upstairs. Because he's got lots in them. I knew it had to be. Something must have been off. It's on equalize. Somehow or another. I don't know how these things get changed like this. This ain't the one, but I'm just going to change them all while I'm here. Oh, wait a minute. I lost which one it was now. Alright, it's this one right here I'm standing on. So it's this middle one right here. Okay, it goes there, there, there. Oh. Boat's rocking and rolling. I can't even stay on the ladder. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. Was working just fine. Let me know, chat, if there's something I'm missing. Ah, it's right there. There we go. Ah, done all that and it was right there. Okay. It's dark. I'm starting this back up again. Going to see what happens here. Double check just to make sure they're at 6. Yes. Alright. We'll see by daylight what happens. Hopefully this is giving off 36,000. This is only taking 20, so yeah, it should give off more than enough. With that being even as empty as it is, should give off more than enough to keep it going all night long. Because when I done the first test, I also did I did the oil and the diesel at the same time. So but just in case there's somebody or people that are just joining and not sure what I'm doing here, I'm just trying to test out I'm testing out my batteries and solar panels to see how many it would actually take to run this all night and all day. So if you wound up having to do that, which would all depend on how many, like diesel tanks you had and diesel tanks on your boat, obviously, because that's going to take away from, I guess, basically how much overboard I went on my batteries is what I want to see. Because right now we're just running off these. These are completely unhooked. These two sections right here are both unhooked. I'm just running off in these 10 batteries, that's it. See, it's at 5.6 right now. In my previous test, when all these were hooked up, it was at 5.5 at daylight. These are going to be way lower than that at daylight. Where's the moon at here? Is it still pretty high up? Yeah. Still got a ways to go yet. And I actually messed around and forgot to do it. Messing with that diesel, putting in my boat. I actually forgot to start it right at dark like I did the other one. And if that keeps up and everything, I'm just going to keep on hooking them until I get to where what I think, ought to be unhooked. Like, say, if there's plenty left in these by the time it's all done, and that solar easily charges them, because what I'm going to do is just unhook it right here, and I'll run it over here and hook it to this, and let them charge, just to see how long it takes to charge them. I won't go through all these. I won't charge these at the same time. So, and I'll see how long I charge it. And if it winds up working or something, what I'll do is come down here somewheres. I'll unhook like 2 or 4 to a time or something like that, and just keep going until I get to however many batteries it runs dead by the time nighttime is over. So that way I would know exactly, how many batteries it takes to run through the night. Because I got everything running that you would have running here. Right now. I got the oil and I got the distillation tower. They're about the only things you'll run here, unless you happen to, want to mess around and build stuff on this. That's going to be different. If you're going to build stuff on this at the same time, if you're going to go through and recycle and recycle a bunch of stuff in here, that's going to be different as well. I'm just doing this to see how much it takes to run your diesel and petrol and the oil over there through the night. And them put out enough to keep this going. That's what I'm going to find out when it gets daylight. What those are producing during the day versus what these are taking during the day. So I'll shut it off in between though, so we know what it did overnight. So as soon as it turns daylight, I will shut them off. And then I'll plug the chargers in. And we can turn it back on. But see, when I done that with the other one, when I have all my solar panels hooked up, these along with those, and all my batteries are hooked up, my solar panels actually charge more than the batteries are taking, or them things are taking out. Okay, my solar panels, I just seen them turn. I don't know if you guys caught that or not, but that means it's getting daylight. So what I'm basically saying, if it's sunny, whoa, no. I better pay attention to what I'm doing here instead of talking to you guys. But what I'm saying here is basically with however many solar panels I have here right now, if I didn't have any batteries at all, I could probably run this during the day as long as it was sunny. That's basically what I'm saying. Okay, so it's daylight enough. I let it run just a little bit. I let it run just a little bit into day because I wanted to... Oh, I don't need to unhook my solar panels. Already done that. I wanted to make up for what I did last night. So now would these go down to 4.7. So 4.7, wow. That isn't too awful bad, really, for running all night long. Now I'm going to take this, hook it into here, and let them charge up. And we'll see what's coming through here right now. 50. So I know right now this isn't going to run it. So it's going to take what's in here now, what's coming in here now, and it's going to take some from the batteries just to run this during the day. I will show you what I'm talking about. I'll turn this back on quick. Let it get up to full steam here. And I know this right here takes 60 kilowatts. And this over here, it takes 60 kilowatts as well, which is the pump down in the basement. So that's 120 kilowatts it's taking. And up here, solar panels are only doing close to 100, from anywhere from 70 to 100 depending. I'm assuming that there might be clouds or something like that to where it's kind of fluctuating, but either way it's not 120, so it is sucking out of the batteries. So right now they're 4.8, but we'll see what happens. See if I do run this the rest of the day, if it'll run them batteries dead or down. And that will be my reasoning for having so many batteries, and so many solar panels as well, because if I run it all night, all day, which a lot of times you have to fill these up. If you have this many tanks. If you only have a couple diesel tanks, you don't. But if you have this many tanks, you have to run it all day and all night, basically, just to fill them all back up. And that I do that. Before I leave here, I will fill my diesel tanks back up. So when I come here again to get diesel, I don't have to sit here and wait. I can just fill it up. And while I'm filling the boat with diesel, I will let this run. And then at the same time, it's filling these. So it's not really filling them, it's just keeping them even. So that way they're not completely drawn all the way down to the bottom by the time I get my boat filled up. So yeah, I will do that. I'll definitely always let them fill up. And I usually let my oil tanks over there fill up as well. So I don't have to sit here and wait for those. But with the oil tanks, you can, if you just go and turn this right here on, it'll push enough oil through to where your distillation tower will run. So you don't even need any in the tanks themselves. Let's see, like right now it's kind of rainy, so I'd be willing to bet them they ain't probably charging hardly at all right now. Yeah, 40. Yeah, that ain't hardly anything. But in all fairness as well, if these 10 right here in this row, if they work for the full day, then really it would be fine, because if you run this a day and a night, it will probably fill the tanks that you have more than likely, because like I say, I have 15 tanks. And if I run this day and night without sucking out of it to fill my boat and stuff like that, it'll fill my tanks. So, and then probably not, but maybe by the time you get back next time, these will be full. But a lot of times when you leave, it just quits filling. So it quits. The solar panels, it's like they don't work after you leave the area. I don't know why, but, and that's also if you have as many solar panels as I do. So I counted them at the beginning. I think I had 10 of them on this roof, and over here I think I have 12 of them. So I couldn't remember which roof was what. So yeah, I got 12 of them over here. So that's 12 solar panels and 10 batteries right now. That's what I have going. But if you put like 4 Lumimaxes up or something, it's not, I don't think it's going to be enough, because what it's doing is it's taking, see, like right now this is going 100 kilowatts. So it's taking this 100 kilowatts and the rest of the 20 kilowatts it's taking from these batteries. So if you only had 4 and it was only printing out say 20 kilowatts, it's going to take the rest out of your batteries of the 120 kilowatts. So it's going to be taking 100 kilowatts out of your batteries. So, which batteries don't hold that much. It will take it accumulatively, I mean, out of your batteries. So in other words, it'll run them dead a lot quicker if you don't have very many solar panels. So it's kind of basically I don't know. I might have been going a little overboard with the 12, but I did it because I thought it would be better. I didn't want to have to do it and then redo it, basically, is what I'm saying. I didn't want to put them up there and then be like, oh, that's not enough. I got to go put some more. Oh, that's not enough. Got to go put some more. You know, just keep going and keep going and keep going and never have diesel because you couldn't run the distillation tower or the oil pump because I kept running out of battery juice or electric. So I made sure. I went to a lot of different places when I did before I came here, when I knew I was going to do this, and I looted like crazy. I killed a bunch of sharks. I killed all the angels I could find, all the little rolly ball thingies. I killed all of them I could find if I ran across any. So everything I could get, piled it on my boat and just came here. So I wasn't afraid, is what I'm saying, to put up this many. It didn't bother me any. And that was my reasoning for doing it. I knew when I got here I had a lot of stuff to do because all this stuff had to be made. So I went all out. I knew this was one of the main places that I wanted really good. A lot of the other places I didn't do hardly anything. So like some of them, like even the second, I think it's a second quest, Beacon 49. I only put like one battery up there and like 4 solar panels maybe. Not very many. And I called it good. That's all I did. But I knew that wasn't a place I was going to spend any time at, so I didn't care. Now, if the update has us going back to a bunch of these other places that we've already been, then I'll upgrade them a little bit. If I know I'm going back and I'm going to be back there more than once. So I'm going to go just check on the batteries quick and see what's going on. They look decent, 4.3. But see, it's still running 100. So that means my solar panels are in pretty good sun right now. Yeah, they are. Yeah, it's hitting just about every one of them. There might be a few of them that are shaded out, but I could have probably weeded them out just a little bit so they're not shadowing each other. But I'll show you right now the reason why I didn't. Now that the sun's on them really good, and I'll get over there and you watch it, it'll start raining. So I can't show you. It's just the way it usually works. But see, these all basically are in the sun. But see, this one right here, it looks like it's kind of in the shade. And this one ain't. This one, it's got just a little bit on the corner. They're really not that bad on any of them. But say this one right here, you can see this shade right here on this corner. There will be some times that this whole bottom half will be shaded out. But what I figured when I put them up, instead of taking this out, so these all get like this one or that one back there or this one here, they all get sun. The reason I did it is because this one, I figured with half of it getting solar to my batteries is better than not having it here at all. That's kind of the way I'm looking. I looked at it. So, and these will get worse and worse as the sun goes down. These will get worse and worse. And like I said, the whole bottom half of them might get covered. But that's why I put so many of them up here. So if that way, if you do wind up getting the perfect time of the day when all of them are directly in the sunlight, you're getting maximum output of these. It'd be great. But even when the sun starts going down, if there's one way up here and there's one way back here, by the time it gets way down, like right around in here, the sun, that one there is going to be blocking this one anyway. So I'm not looking at just like early morning or late evening. I'm always looking like it is right now. Say this has got shadows on the corner of it, but it's still got 3/4 of it working. So that's a lot of electricity that's going to my batteries. That wouldn't be if this wasn't here. So, and that was my logic for it. So, see, this one's getting quite a lot in the shade in the bottom. But see what I mean? The top half is still working. And obviously, as the sun comes down, and like I say, if it gets clear over here just above the water, majority of these outside ones right here will have full sun. But a lot of these back here won't, because them two up there, or three, will be blocking all these. But it also had full sun, all of these, all day long while it was up here. So that's just my way of looking at them. So I don't know whether it's the smart way to look at it or not, but that's just the way I look at it. That's my theory, anyhow. I don't know if anybody will agree with me or not, but if you don't, I would appreciate it if you'd leave a comment. How you doing, Rad? Don't use too many solar panels in the same spot. I was just explaining that. I was explaining my reasoning for it. What do you think of my reasoning? Was you on here when I was explaining that? Did it make sense to you? Hopefully it did, because that's kind of the way I look at it. Appreciate you joining, by the way. Okay, so it's daylight, or it's dark now. I'll go through and shut all this down. See what happened here. Oh, now it went to 4.0 out of 6.0. That's fine. I'm understanding you just perfectly. No problem. Yes, I'm assuming. Oh, is that what you're saying? Yeah, that's what you. I was just explaining why I did what I did here. I'll just run through it real quick for you again. What I was figuring is I did so many solar panels that when the sun is up here during the day, all of these are getting full sun. Granted, when it gets down lower, they're all going to block each other. But I just figured if they only blocked half of it, half of one of these solar panels is better than nothing. But during the day, when it's all up in here, if they're getting full power, I'm going to have a lot of power going to my batteries. So that's the way I look at it. I try to keep it so I have yeah, it's very efficient. I'm doing different tests just to see what's going on, because all these batteries right here are not hooked up right now. Just these ones in this row. I'm just seeing what the difference is when I unhook stuff. See what happens. See, right there's where I normally have it hooked and I got it unhooked. So, but so now, just from when I unhooked all those batteries, ran it all day, all night, this did not recharge my batteries during the day. So now I'm down to 4.1 and I have no way of charging it overnight. Nope. I don't never use wind turbines, and there's only one reason I really don't use them. I don't like having to repair them all the time. That's the only reason I don't use wind turbines. They actually work really well. Day and night and everything, but I just don't use them because I don't like to repair. That's another reason why I go overboard on my batteries and solar panels, because I don't use wind turbines. I'm not saying don't use them. I'm just saying that's the reason why I don't use them. That's all. I don't like having, because when you come back up here afterwards, if you're gone for a while, you come back up here to get diesel or something, them things are all going to take materials to repair them, and I just don't like that. Yeah, it is annoying. I totally agree. So that's the reason why I don't do it. It's just, for one, I don't want to leave that much material here all the time. So it's kind of hard to, I don't want to go gather a bunch of material and just leave it here just so I have stuff to repair my wind turbines all the time. So, and as you probably know, if you play the game, you probably know that the solar panels they don't take no, unless they get like shot or something like that, then they do, but just regular wear and tear, they don't take no wear and tear, they don't take no materials, they don't ever have to be fixed. So I do what I can. That's why when I said I first come here, I came prepared. I came prepared to build a lot of batteries, a lot of solar panels and everything. I already knew I was going to do it. Is that 50 hours? Is that what that is? Yeah, if you have 50 hours on this game, if that's what that is, you don't want to know my hours. You're a rocket launcher pro? Is that what you're saying? Nice. Yep. You're exactly right. I do have over 300 hours. You're exactly right. See, what happened is I played the game for a while, and then I just decided one day I was going to start a YouTube channel. So then I had to start all over again. So otherwise I wouldn't have had no content. So, but I like it. I really like doing YouTube. So I like helping people and chatting with people such as yourself. I like it. I like it when I didn't know it was visible. Yeah, I enjoy it. So now that I've done that, I already have. That's okay. Ain't no problem. No problem. We'll handle it. We got this. With the solar panels that I have, and like I said, a lot of people don't put up as many as I do. So that's just giving you an idea of the power it takes to run everything here. And the reasoning I did. You're seeing many lags in my game? Is that what you're saying? Just to keep it moving here, I want to just sum it up for you. Now, it's probably not. It's a lower end computer. It's not real great on low. Otherwise, my FPS. So my takeaway would be, if you guys was all to do, any of you guys do this, I would put at least 10 of these out. So, and that will help you out. So, that would be my takeaway from it. But that should have given somebody a pretty good idea if they ever watch this live stream here of what you can do and kind of your limits. I have 7 oil tanks, so how much you're going to set up. So, because obviously, however many it is. Oh, that's too bad. Seem to be having much problem. Man, I hope not. I hope this video doesn't come out all laggy. But that's what I was saying. If you did less, it would take less out of your batteries, so you could wind up doing less batteries, less solar panels. It all depends on how you want to set it up here. That's basically what it depends on. If you want to set up a bunch of them, you're probably going to have more batteries and solar panels and wind turbines. If you're going to set up less, then you probably won't have to. So it's really all on setup. How many storages you're going to have, stuff like that. Because 2 of these right here are already here when you get here. And if you're not going to have very many storage tanks to fill, or any storage tanks on your boat to fill, them 2 would be more than enough to run the distillation tower. Because once you hook this up from downstairs, turn it on, just it itself would probably give it enough to run. So you wouldn't even have to have storage tanks. So the 2 that are here would probably... So So yeah, it's really all up to how you want to build it. So what you want to do with it. But I'm gonna go up real quick and hook all my stuff up before I get off, so I can, when I come back, it's back together again here. Alright, and I'm gonna hook all these back in here again. And I will give the stats one more time before I get off, just to show you what it is here. I'll go over here where my batteries are again. I'll just give the stats real quick on what I figured out. These are by no means mathematical stats, so okay, so I had everything hooked up just like it is right now, everything, and I ran this all night, which means my solar panels was not on. So, and this went down to 5.5 out of 6. Okay, I let it recharge. I run it all day long with my solar panels hooked up. And it went down to 5.7. So I gained 2. So it actually charged them. Well, no, I guess it didn't. It took 3 away. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was kind of rainy. So, okay, so I unhooked this right down there. All these batteries wasn't hooked up. It was just this line, just these 10. I ran it all night long after I charged them. It went down to 4.7. And then I hooked my solar panels. Oh, by the way, I unhooked all them solar panels over there. Just the solar panels on this roof. Just this row of batteries for this experiment part of it. That was the 4.7 out of 6 after running it all day. And, or all night, I mean. I unhooked this. I hooked it in there when it got daylight. Charged the batteries back up. And then I did it during the day with just these 10 batteries and the ones I have on the roof, the solar panels. I ran it all day long, and it only came out to 4.0. So it's not feasible. It's not going to work like that. You know what? I think I screwed that up. Actually, I think when I hooked this up, they were fully charged. I ran them all night long, 4.7, and then I just hooked in the solar panels to see if they would charge it. And they didn't. It actually went down to 4.0 during the day. That's what I done. I did not let them recharge after I ran it all night. So you would have to brake. You would have to stop. Let your batteries recharge and then do it if you wanted to do it this way. Or you could just do it twice. Because I think you could run it through day and night on 2 different ones. 2 days, 2 nights. I think you could do it. With 10 batteries, and I think it's 10 solar panels. I'm not sure. But there again, I'm filling all these. So if you're doing a simple setup, like 6 or something, yeah, 10 is way more than enough batteries. It's probably actually way more than enough. And I think I have 12 solar panels up there, if I'm not mistaken. So you could probably get away with 8 of them, maybe, if you wanted to save resources. So, like I told you earlier in this, I didn't care about resources. So, I did a crap load of looting before I got here. So I had lots of resources. So I guess, in conclusion, it all depends on 3 things. How many of these storage tanks you're going to have. How many storage tanks you're going to have on your boat, if any. That is including oil tanks and diesel tanks, if you have either one of those on there. Because either way, you're going to have to run something to pump it down there. So, and then how many solar panels or wind turbines, and how many batteries you want to do. Those 3 things. It all hinge on each other. It kind of coincides. So if you like I say, if you only do 6 of these, you don't need as many batteries. You don't need as many solar panels or wind turbines. So if you're not going to have any oil on your boat, and you're not going to have very many oil tank or diesel tanks to make very much diesel, then you won't need this many oil tanks either. So it kind of, they all work off each other. Oh, good, Rad. Good. Glad you can hear me again. So I don't know how to put it to where I can't really tell you exactly what to make, because I don't know how you're going to set nothing up. So, and what you have on your boat or any of that. So you can't really put it down to an exact science or anything like that. You can't really say, like, put 2 of these up here, put 2 on your boat, and you only need so and so many batteries and so many solar panels. So, because you don't know what else you're doing. So, you know, because like I say, I don't use hardly any petrol, but that don't mean everybody don't. There's flamethrowers out there. There, that new forklift they have out in the new update, that takes petrol. There's stuff that does take petrol. People might use it a lot. I just don't, that's all. I use the electric rifle instead of the petrol. That's the only reason I don't use the flamethrower. Flamethrower actually works great. I just don't like that it overheats. And if you're doing all that, it's just that all, you know, kind of clumps into what I'm saying is there's no exact science to how you do it. I just wanted to test mine out and see how mine worked and see how much overboard I went. And I did. I knew I went overboard, but that's just how I am. That's how I roll. I don't know if it's... Well, I do. I know why I do it. I do it like I said earlier. I don't want to come here and need diesel and not have enough power to get diesel. That's the exact reason I do it. Because I have came here before, and these have been down 3/4. For what reason, I don't know. I hadn't even been here. So, that's what makes me think that they don't charge while you're gone from here. And when you get here in the 3/4 and you're waiting and waiting, and then you just say, fine, I'm just going to deal with it and I'm going to go do me some diesel. And by the time it's all said and done, they're down to pretty low because 9 chances out of the 10 when you get here, it's dark. So, but that's the reason why I do it. I like my setup. I like how I got it, everything done. So it works really well. I never have to wait when I get here for diesel. I can just unload diesel into my boat and oil both. So, but see what I mean? See, this is all it's doing is that corner right here that's in the shadows. All this right here is all working still. So I just figured that 3/4 that's still working is better than not having this here at all. So it wasn't blocking this one. So that's kind of the way I look at it. They are shadowing each other, but it's also getting, the sun's getting down here as well. When it's all up and over here, that's full. So I guess I explained that as well as I could explain it. I tested it pretty good, I think. See what maybe I'll go into it would take tanks over here and do them separate. If anybody I would like to hear from you. But as for right now, I believe I might be video here. I can't think of anything else to do, so there's not really any sense to stay on. Rad, thanks for being here. Thanks for joining me. Everybody else that jumped in, and to all my viewers, thank you very much. Much appreciated. I hope everybody has a great day.